Hello. I have found a new fathead dough recipe that I want to give a try. Most of the fathead dough recipes that I've seen call for like almond flour and coconut flour. This actually calls for whey protein, unflavored whey protein powder, and coconut flour. So I really like that idea of like getting some more protein in. Now it's only a quarter cup, which is like a serving of the protein powder, a little bit more or less depending on, what kind you use. So it's not like a ton considering that like the recipe makes enough for I don't it's like 6 or 8, but still I like the idea of adding protein powder instead of like say almond flour. So I'm going to give it a try. So the recipe calls for 8 ounces of aged cheddar. I have Kerrygold brand aged cheddar here. I've got 8 ounces of it shredded up in my bowl. And then 2 tablespoons of butter. Now, the original recipe calls for unsalted butter, but I don't have any unsalted butter, so I'm just going to use salted butter. I'm going to heat this up in my microwave and stir it, heat it up and stir it to get it into like a thin consistency so I can make it into a dough. All right, I think this looks good. So I'm going to add in a half cup of coconut flour. A quarter cup of my whey protein, a teaspoon of garlic powder, which is quite a bit, just a little bit more. Okay, and then I need a quarter teaspoon of salt. And I need 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of baking powder. All right, and then just mix those together until they kind of come together a bit. I do need to add some eggs, but I need to get these kind of mixed in first. Okay, and then I will add my eggs. So I need 2 whole eggs and 1 egg white. All right, and then get those all broken up and worked into my dough. And it says to use a rubber scraper to do this, so that's what I'm doing. But I feel like hands actually are a better tool, and I may have to switch to that, but we'll see what happens. All right, that actually mixed in pretty well, so I'm going to grab my pan. Oh, and my oven is preheated to 350 degrees. Okay, so this is an 8-inch round baking dish. It seems a little odd. Like it's not like a fathead dough that I've seen before. Like it's a little looser, but maybe that'll be great. Smells good. Okay, so then I'll kind of spread this out evenly. Okay, so of course I made a mistake. I'm supposed to actually form this into round balls, into 8 round balls, and then put it in here, but this doesn't seem like I could put it into round balls. Anyway, so I think I'm just going to leave it and I'll bake it and we'll see what happens. It's supposed to bake for 20 to 25 minutes. So it took like 30 minutes for it to get done. And then I was supposed to mix some garlic, butter, parsley, and salt together and brush that over the top before I baked it. And then like half of it, and then take the other half and brush it on afterwards. But I just didn't have enough butter for that. I don't know how I'm out of butter, but I'm out of butter. So I didn't brush it on before baking it. I'm just going to put it on after baking it because I just feel like it'll add more flavor doing it afterwards. Okay, so now I'm going to give it a try. All right, so I've cut it into 8 wedges, and honestly, like even if it had like been a dough that I could form balls, Like this was so much easier just to pour it in and then cut it into these wedges. All right, I'm going to try this. Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's very similar to others that I've had, except that it's not quite as dense, which I like. And it almost has like a focaccia. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but like it's more airy. Um, like the fibers of it are dense, but like there's more pockets in there. That is really, really good. I really like that a lot. This is fantastic.